I thought this was a great video for not only this generation, but some good retirement planning techniques and some good tips on what to look out for. So let's jump right into it. Hopefully you like the new do.
Why is Gen X so ridiculously unprepared for retirement? Well, there's a few possible reasons. For one, there's inflation. More than 2/3 of working Gen Xers are concerned about reaching their savings goals due to inflation. And I get this one. Our dollars aren't going as far as they used to. But really, guys, you can't use this as an excuse for not investing for retirement.
A good financial plan will help you avoid all of this silver squatters. I love it. All right, and welcome in, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is CFP Reacts, where I, your host, Scott Schiller, reacts to the best and worst financial advice in social media. And so I'm so glad that you're joining me. Hopefully you like the new do. Came by popular request. So now much more aerodynamic for you guys. And so look forward to making some faster videos and getting them out for you guys. And so thank you very much for joining me. In today's video, the plan is to go over and react to another video from George Kamel. And this one is entitled The Generation X Retirement Crisis, okay? And so Generation X are all of us Americans who are ages 44 to 59, okay? And so this is just one generation younger than baby boomers and just one generation older than millennials, and so commonly known as the sandwich generation. And so I thought this was a great video for not only this generation, but some good retirement planning techniques and some good tips on what to look out for. So let's jump right into it.
Gen X, once known as the MTV generation, is now apparently the retire broke generation. That's right, almost half of Gen Xers say they'll need a miracle to retire. So who's going to pay for all their prunes, Metamucil,
Yeah, miracle is not a good retirement plan.
and hard candy from Cracker Barrel? Spoiler, it might be you. In today's video, we're going to break down how Gen X got into this retirement pickle and how to keep their retirement crisis from becoming yours. Turning 59 and a half this year. Now, normally, I'm not one to celebrate half birthdays. Seems like a bit much. But this one is significant because it's the earliest age that you can start withdrawing from your retirement account without penalties.
So this would go for, so this is age 59 and a half. We can start to take withdrawals out of our IRA, 401k, 403b, Roth IRA. All of these different types of accounts fall into this category. And so once we reach 59 and a half and we have money in those accounts, we can take a withdrawal and we're not subject to the pre-59 and a half 10% penalty, okay? What's called a pre-59 and a half distribution has a penalty. And so 59 and a half is the earliest age we can take a withdrawal without that.
But how much does Gen X have in that retirement account? Not very much. According to a recent survey, the median retirement savings for 55-year-olds is just $50,000. That'll last you a good almost year.
That's low. That's really tough.
So how did we get here? Why is Gen X so ridiculously unprepared for retirement? Well, there's a few possible reasons. For one, there's inflation. More than 2/3 of working Gen Xers are concerned about reaching their savings goals due to inflation. And I get this one. Our dollars aren't going as far as they used to. But really, guys, you can't use this as an excuse for not investing for retirement. Number two, the decline of pension plans.
The purpose of helping yourself against inflation is, in fact, investing, right? So we need to stay invested, and that way we can own these companies around us that are creating all this inflation. And so, absolutely, good point there.
Plans. Way back in the day, a lot of workers had a pension plan through their employer, and that was pretty much their retirement plan. Work at the same place for 40 years, and you peace out with a guaranteed income and a sad retirement party in the break room. 40 years of...
Yeah, so I would say I would actually have this one as number, yes, this one listed as number 2, the reason for this crisis. I would say this, the reduction in eventual elimination of pension plans is, I think, reason number 1 as to why this is such an issue for everybody. And so that's why, hey, having good financial planning and investment advice, which is what I do for my clients, is huge. Guiding a client through their 401k allocation, making sure they're invested properly, make sure they're contributing the right amounts. All of these are part of planning and what I do for everybody that I work with. But the idea is that staying invested is the key way to combat inflation, and also why people are so undersaved in this age group.
Service for a sheet cake from Piggly Wiggly. Do better. No shade to Piggly Wiggly. This is on the boss.
It's all your fault.
As time went on, pension plans went away and were replaced by the 401k, which took the burden of saving and investing off of the employers and placed it on to employees. And Gen X is the first generation to rely on 401k plans as their main investment vehicle. So they were kind of like the guinea pigs for this. They had to figure out on their own how much they needed to save and invest and then actually do it. And apparently, some of them not great guinea pigs. Number 3, financial illiteracy. Now, to be fair, Gen X didn't grow up learning about how to handle money in school, and most likely didn't learn it from their parents either. They were too busy learning how to write in cursive, which turned out to be a crucial life skill if you're a John Hancock impersonator. It's honest work. Honestly, was a big hit at my daughter's first birthday party. Kids love cursive.
I doubt that.
In a recent survey, non-retired Gen Xers said they hold an average of 32% of their retirement.
Yeah, 32% is high. But just going back to that other point, you're looking at financial illiteracy. I don't think that there's any evidence to suggest that Generation X folks are somehow, more or less financially illiterate than other generations. I don't believe that there's evidence out there to suggest that. If you believe that there is, please in the comments below let me know. But I've yet to come across that. Each generation has its good percentage of folks who somebody might consider financially illiterate. Anyway, and so yeah, this point, next point here, having this much in cash also makes it tough to grow. It's just too conservative.
Retirement assets in cash, which is not great, because if that money's not being invested, they are missing out on the power of compound growth, and their money is losing power every day thanks to inflation. Almost 2/3 of them said that this is because they fear losing their money, and nearly 1/4 of them said they're not sure how to invest their savings the best way. That would be like not eating dinner because you couldn't decide between Bojangles and Rainforest Cafe. Easy choice for me. I'm going to the jungle, baby. Hardest part, though, choosing between a tsunami cake or a sparkling volcano for dessert.
That's a tough choice.
Speaking of disaster, you don't want your retirement savings to be heavily in cash. Take advantage of the power of compound growth and the tax advantages that come with investing in your retirement accounts. And pro tip,
I would agree with that.
just because your money is in a 401k or a Roth IRA doesn't mean it's invested in anything. Remember, a retirement account is just an empty tax advantage shell.
Well, it's going to be invested in something, either, so he's going to give the example here of using investments inside there. But even if you don't choose, let's say, quote unquote investment, it's just going to be sitting in cash, okay? So cash is still technically an investment, okay? It's just, it has its purpose, right? It's designed for short term, being able to access it and take withdrawals anytime you want, and then also it not being subject to any kind of market risk. But anyway, the idea here is make sure your 401k and Roth IRA is in fact in investments designed for growth.
You gotta choose investments to purchase inside of it to turn that cold, sterile house into a warm, wealth-building home. Cozy. If you want to find an investment pro to help you with this, check out the link in the description below. Number 4, poor planning. According to the same survey I mentioned earlier, 45% of non-retired Gen Xers say they have not done any retirement planning.
Yeah, so this is part of what my profession is all about, right? And so, I look at how I'm growing my client base. Lots of people come to me and they haven't done any retirement planning. They haven't done any financial planning. And so that's first step of doing that with them in their lives is when they're talking to me. And that's what gets me super excited to do what I do. And I just feel very lucky to be able to do what I do and help people through these plans. But here we go. And part of this Generation X, only half have an actual financial plan. Well, the other half, we need to put one together. That's where certified financial planners like myself come in.
Okay, this one's on you. I know you were all intentionally grunge in the 90s, but you're about to be accidentally grunge in your 90s. Look, if your plan is to rely on Social Security, good luck with that. According to the Social Security website, the average monthly benefit in August of 2024 was around $1,920 a month.
Wow, that's not a life you want.
Reaching the poverty line. And by the way, that's the average. Some people get less than $900 a month. That sucks.
Yes.
Number 5,
Yes, that
life
does suck.
circumstances. According to a survey by Experian, 74% of Gen X said they suffer or have suffered from, quote, financial trauma. Sounds a bit dramatic, but I get it. One part of this trauma is that they're trying to financially support their aging parents and their kids while also trying to take care of themselves, which is how they got their nickname, the Sandwich Generation. They're stuck between Gen Z and an old place.
Oh, I get it now.
And while this might seem like a Gen X problem, their financial woes could easily become yours. Here's what I mean. Almost a quarter of 55-year-olds are banking on financial help from their family in retirement. Looking at you, millennials and Gen Z. People are even using the term silver squatters, implying they might need to move in with their children. Not to be confused with silver squatters.
Yeah, that you gotta have a good financial plan will help you avoid all of this silver squatters. I love it.
The long-forgotten spin-off of Golden Girls. If you know, you know. And if you don't, it's because I made that up. But would I watch it? 100%. And a lot of them haven't even broached the subject with their families yet. And here's a fun tip for you Gen Xers.
So you don't want to talk to them, but you want to rely, 55% of us are in that generation are going to rely on family members for financial assistance, yet very few are actually talking to those family members about it. You might want to let them know what's coming.
Bring it up at Thanksgiving. Hey, could you pass the green beans? Also, can I move in with you? You got a spare bedroom I can move into? Now listen, all hope is not lost. I'll tell you what you can do about this, but first, let me tell you what you can do about your data being passed around like a hot potato on the internet.
You said a stork brought me.
Yes, this conversation might be very uncomfortable, but it's very important. You might need to connect them to a financial advisor if they don't already have one.
Great idea. Great Christmas gift idea, by the way. Give your either parents or whomever in your life that you feel like should sit down with a financial planner, give them a coupon, 30-minute, 1-hour meeting with me, and call it a Christmas gift or a holiday gift to give them a good start on their financial future if they don't have a plan.
Or talk to yours about how you can help. And decide how you and your family will or won't help support them. Be very clear about this. Maybe you and your siblings decide to help cover some of their expenses. Maybe you need to draw a boundary and stick to it. Maybe it's both. But talk about it now, because their financial problems can become your financial problems, and you need to have a plan for it. Now, if you're one of the Gen Xers still raging against the machine with little to no retirement savings, don't lose hope. There are still some things you can do to help fund your golden years. For starters, if you've been hanging on to debt, it's time to get rid of it. All right, it's gonna lower your expenses when you get rid of those payments and allow you to retire sooner.
Yeah,
Next,
that's 100% true, 100%, getting rid of debts, getting rid of needing to make payments into things, it makes everything run smoother in your financial plan.
If you're 50 or older, take advantage of catch-up contributions in your retirement accounts. By this age, hopefully you're making more than you ever have, so don't squander it. Put it to good use. Next, keep working. If you have a full-time job, you might need to delay retirement by a few years.
Keep working means don't retire, so don't hit your goal, essentially, or in referencing to the older you are, the less you'll need in terms of savings and retirement as well.
So you can hang on to that steady and hopefully very high income and keep investing. The longer you invest and the longer you let it sit, the better off your nest egg is gonna be. Next up, delay Social Security. If you wait a few extra years to claim Social Security, that could result in higher monthly payouts. It won't be much, but every little bit helps. And remember, don't rely on Social Security for your retirement plan. Instead, look at this like icing on the tsunami cake. And last but not least, talk to a financial advisor. You don't have to do this alone.
Yeah, should have been first. Most important thing, talk to your financial planner. If you don't have one, let's get one for you. Let's get a future set up, and so we can start to plan for it and you can actually hit your goals.
And they can help you make a realistic plan that works for you and your goals. And to all you young whippersnappers who still have decades of earning potential ahead of you, don't let retirement catch you unprepared, okay? There's no reason you have to retire broke. Let this be your wake-up call to get your house in order and start preparing for your future. If you want to see if you're on track for retirement, check out this video next to see how much you should have in your 401k.
Couldn't agree with this more. And so for the Generation X group out there, we know the common pitfalls, right? Under-investing in the 401k plan, not investing properly, not having a financial plan, relying on family members for, all kinds of different things that, really aren't a part of what you want your future to end up being. And so that's why sitting down with a good financial planner is so critical. So anyway, I really appreciate your paying attention to this and watching my videos. Please like and subscribe, and in the comments below, please let me know of any other videos you'd like me to react to, and I'll do my best to get the job done for you. Thank you so much.